as you've been sitting back watching these first 2 games, what have you been surprised by so far with these finals?
I think the dominance of Golden State. I mean, I knew they were good, but one thing I said, okay, yes, they have 4 stars, superstars, okay? But they're unselfish superstars. That's what makes them so tough to guard. It's one thing guarding them, it's like, okay, they're good, you know, Steph and KD, whatever, but they're unselfish. So when you have stars, and I look at like Dirk, I play with Dirk. Dirk is an unselfish superstar. And he's a willing passer, and that's what makes guys hard to guard. It's one thing when the old KD and OKC, we knew he was going to pound, pound, pound. You can defend that. You can put a body on him. Now when he's moving without the ball or he gets a shot, he has a shot there, but he'll find it Steph or Clay for an easier shot. That's tough to guard.
But how do you negotiate that, like, with yourself as a star? Because you were the primary option, scoring option for years in your career. You were Kobe Bryant, and then Tracy McGrady gets into the mix, but those were the guys. And as you aged, you accepted a transformation into a role player, which is rare. You were a high percentage role player, just the kind of guy you want on your team. Unselfish. How do you get your ego to accept that when you know it's going to count against you in some way? Number one, you're not the man anymore. Number two, people say, well, maybe he did that because that was really in him all along. He didn't want it like you know, Jordan wanted it, or Bird or Kobe or someone like that. So how do you get yourself to accept being unselfish that way?
Not everybody's able to put their pride aside or their ego aside, and he's looking at the big picture. He really wants the championship, so he's willing to do whatever it takes. Everybody's not willing to do that. I came from an era where that wasn't the popular move, or that was forbidden.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So listening to Paul said that, and I was here with Pip, and we come from I'm the late 90s. I've been around for a while, so it's just, that's what was instilled in me then. I want to beat those guys. Now, as you move on in today's game, it's a little different. It's a little different. Also, he's a free agent.
Yeah.
He's free to go where he wants to. Now, we all want to see him beat the best, but at the same time, if the opportunity knocks, why not? And I look at it like a job opportunity. Everybody here, if you get a better opportunity, you're going to take it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So we can't hate him for that. And I refuse to hate him for that, because now he's fulfilling his dream. I want to win a championship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do whatever I can, but at the same time, back in my time, that wasn't even thought about.
Now let's make you the coach of the Cavs, make you Ty Lue, because Ty Lue's not sitting there saying, man, I can't beat this team. I have to figure out how to beat this team. They are unselfish, but my job is not to give them accolades, it's to find a way to beat them. Who do you guard first? Who do you guard the hardest, Durant or Curry?
Right now, I think Durant is priority, and now it's all about taking away something. He's going to get his buckets regardless. Let's take away some of his comfort shots. Let's take away his comfort drive. We know he likes to get to that left hand or his one dribble pull-up. So now let's try to make him go the other way a little bit, and then see what happens. You know, that's what else can you do? And then you kind of work from there. Of course, then you work down to Steph and then Clay and then Draymond. But first and foremost, you have to kind of contain KD and Steph, and you want their bench. I'm okay, as a coach, I'm okay if their bench players score 20 and 30 points, and if you can kind of mellow out their stars.
Because that's not their script. So if you get them off script, you got a chance.
Them doing what they're not used to doing or accustomed doing all season, that's a different story. See, the problem is doing that.
In the media, where our job is to talk about this stuff and find different ways to talk about the same thing every day, that sounds good. Well, Absolutely. This is how you figure it all out. And I'm not pretending that I can get in the mind of a world-class competitive athlete as you were, as Marcellus was. Believe it or not, he was once a world-class competitive athlete.
Don't let this fool you.
Yeah, don't let this fool you. But so I understand you always have to believe you're going to win. But when guys get together and you look at that Warrior squad to start the season, everyone has to know, ain't no one beating that team. That's ridiculous. Like, how do you convince yourself, you know, on Memphis, for example, we're going to take them down low and slow up the game.
Zach. Come on, Mario.
It's a lot of things. So you come into preseason, and the first thing we're saying is, who is KD going to be for that team? Who is he going to be, the KD of OKC, where he wants the ball a lot, or is he going to be the KD that we see now? That was the question.
Dunking on your head all night.
I understand that, but at the same time, if he's pounding the ball a lot, we have a chance. KD, who's scoring, what, 35 or whatever, with holding the ball for 4 minutes?
So you think
Unstoppable, huh?
So the thought is, if we do everything right, we got to get a little lucky. We hope that we just put them in low percentage situations. Hopefully that that even though they're more talented, they can't come through. That's the idea. Like, we know we need a little luck, but maybe.
That's what
you hope.
That's, I mean,
basically people are resorting to prayer against this team,
and some luck and great shooting nights, because you want them. The Cavs they're saying we all know they have to play perfect basketball, which is how perfect can you play? You have to hope that they're having an off night. And, I mean, they're very prideful. They've been here before, they meaning the Cavs. So they're going to come out fighting. I expect them to play an unbelievable first half to kind of establish themselves. Because if they allow Golden State to hit first, that first quarter, it could be a long night.
Yeah, and a short series.
Do you think Vince, that KD's on the precipice of now becoming the best player in the world?
He's on the way. He's on the way. He's on the way.
But LeBron's still ahead of him?
He's on the way.
Okay. And where's Kawhi in that conversation?
He's right there. But I still think right now LeBron has established himself. KD is establishing himself to be that. You know what I'm saying? But
do you think he could be better than LeBron?
Down the line, he could be. But, like, we're trying to say that he's better than somebody who has won a championship.
Yeah.
Who has won multiple championships.
So this is why players come together, right? Because
we're looking at what he's done right now. This is great. But win it first. And then I think now then you can say he might be better. But right now, until this series is over, I can't give it to him. And he's playing on another level, which now he has earned the right to be talked about as one of the best.